Okay, we are looking for new land in Florida. Offers every day on 20 to 40 acre land tracts under $1 million. Today, we're looking for new submarkets. We're working our way up I-4 and I-95. We got two fast growing counties so far. And man, I talk about this stuff every day to everybody I know. I live it, literally live and breathe land. Okay. You guys know the standards under $1 million. We're just looking for submarkets. This is a good starting point because it allows us to be able to tie up one subdivision is, I don't know, 20 to 50 acres. Depends. No phasing, all platted. We're doing all platted. All right, let's go to the map. So we've been coming across here. We made an offer on this one yesterday. And we are working our way up. Definitely don't like that stuff. We look for developed parcels that are around other infrastructure. Let's take a look. This is how a lot of these were sold, large land tracts. And you're supposed to have streets. They subplatted them into large blocks or the minimums. I think it's like a by right. Seminole wood bump. So this is kind of what you see. A lot of these as it gets developed, as it adds more, as you tap into the infrastructure and annex, you want to, this is what we're doing, is just adding on subdivisions like this. So we would probably, that would have been a good one. Too big. Kind of a weird shape. It does have frontage, which is all that's required. Conservation easement. I don't know about removing goat for tortoises. That's definitely not something you want to get involved in. We've looked through that stuff. It's just expensive. So I'm not seeing a lot up here. And so we'll go to some of these smaller towns. Check this out. This is the kind of stuff we're willing to go after. This is barely a risk. If you look at where I'm from, you just have to look at income and if there's builders in this city. Wow. Anytime you see a Walmart, I'll take that all day long. You gotta look at this creek area. Let's see. Golf Club Road. Wow. 100%. You see all the utilities. So what we look for is these are pretty platted, very symmetrical. Um, Utilities, we look for access along a main corridor. This yellow is always going to have utilities. Let's take a look at, it's a little small, North 6th Street, Golf Club Drive, and North Burns Street. Yeah. Wow, that is not how I would plat it. They also have an elementary school. Wow, dude, this is phenomenal. This is what I'm talking about. This is like the play right here. So we're just looking at what's available every day, every week, looking at, let's see what county this is in. It's a massive elementary school. Yeah, they really did not do it right justice on how actually good it looks. If you look at these, I can measure the lot sizes here nearby. That's probably 10,000 square feet. Yeah, 10,000. Not bad. We go a higher density than that. We're looking around at recently platted, but this looks brand new. That's a no-brainer, dude. All right, let's look at the overlay map. Well, first we're going to see who's there. We're going to pull this in and start doing a little bit of analysis. Let's see what it says. 1,200 is a lot of people. From where I'm from, dude, that is astronomical. Net migration. Okay. So Baker County doesn't look like it's doing too bad. It's growing slow, but we're just getting to know the areas. It's really good when it's the only big city in the county. Yep. That's a great sign. So Jacksonville suburb, very good. Population. We would look at something like, God, $200,000 is crazy. These are better deals than I'm getting in my state. Okay, let's see here. Builders building in this city. Entry complete is entry level, which is a great sign. LGI. Now what we're doing is a little different. You see how these came down here? You're seeing those? We're right here. And I-10 is a major corridor in growth. It's still considered, there's only a certain number of ways you're going to be able to grow. And typically for the land prices that we're looking for, we're going to take it. I wouldn't say that it's that much further out from here to there. It's both direct and it's a little bit slower. But this is a direct commute in. And it's always a good sign when you're in the city, when you can literally buy land in the city like this. So far, so good. We're going to look at the overlay. And I think we're right about here. You see cul-de-sac, cul-de-sac, cul-de-sac. I think we're right in here. So we already have the overlay, residential and within the city limits, which means no annexation. That means it's a quick entitlement, which is great. Okay. We're going to pull up the Baker County Auditor. See if this works on Chrome. That's surprising. Okay, so we don't have access to the auditor site. Okay, we'll try the city. Alrighty. That's Texas. Okay. So this is what's hard to tell. We are right here. This is the high school. Grade's probably going to be institutional use. Let's look. Government use. Yep. So we're backing up to that. And we're looking at RS1, RS2. So I can take a screenshot of this. And I'll say, let's see what it says. I say the site we have is within the city limits. Can't tell from this shading map if it is RS1 or RS2. I know the one by us has 10,000 square foot lots and looks R1. What is the development standards for a subdivision plat? This could be the easiest one yet. What about RS2? $10,000 square feet is crazy. What is the pathway to smaller lots average between 5,500 and 7,500? It's probably going to be a PD. PUD. Rezoning is definitely the way to go. And this is what we want to double our yields. Let's see here. Can you do a feasibility write up on this? The difference between RS1 and PD and a yield table. If we go for RM12 or blended density of smaller and larger lots like 5,000, 5,500, and 7,500, and equal distribution for 5,500, 6,500, and 7,500 for multiple product lines. That is a very low density. Utilities, I'm sure, are available. This is within the overlay, and there is a school right by it. Here is the opportunity. This is one of the best deals I've seen. Literally gets better and better. 30 acres for $200,000 in a city is insane. That's much, 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 much better. You only need a site plan, not engineering, right? And what is the application fee? It's probably not even $1,000. There we go. Okay. So we'd like to do a full feasibility write up on this site, parcel, etc., like the attached. which will be an exhibit to our option to purchase. I think this might be the best deal I've found. It's crazy low basis. And I don't know how this exists. This is like the same as one of my this is what DR Horton's doing right here. This is how cheap they're getting land. 200 grand. All right, so we're gonna bring in a feasibility. One of our templates. This was 37 acres yesterday for 400. That got cut in half today. Let's see how long this has been on the market. I hope a while. That's great. Wow, that's amazing. We're finding all the right places, all the submarkets we need to. Gosh, we're gonna be rich. Alrighty. Let's wrap up our. There's so much money in this stuff, guys. I doubt anybody watches these. Say maybe one someday. Everyone's gonna be doing land development. Alrighty, that would unlock housing. It'd be great. Make sure to include local builders and a larger look at Jacksonville National, but submarket focus, very rare, right next to the elementary. Only two growing cities in whole county means population growth is uh focused. All right. This is meant to be our pathway, pricing, density, yield table. Max, I think, would be a blend of 50, 50 feet and 60 feet with 5,000 and 6,000 square foot lots and a net loss of 20% of 20, we'll go 25% right away. But yield table etc. This should be institutional level. This is a by right and no annexation with national voters in the submarket already. LGI and Century. Okay, we're gonna see what it comes up with. Okay, Exhibit A, feasibility and development pathway proposal, 6th Street, Macclenny, Florida. Executive summary, by right residential development with high builder fit. This 2906 site within the city offers a by right development opportunity for single-family residential directly adjacent to McKinley Elementary School. This infill represents one of the most compelling submarket plays in Baker County due to its location within the incorporated area, no annexation, proximity to the county's highest performing school cluster, access to water and sewer, existing builder activity. The property is well positioned for a blend of 50 and 60 foot. Site characteristics, 6th Street, SR1, 2906, presumed zoning RS1, vacant, flat, submarket, McKinley, two city growth engine. Baker comprises only two growing incorporated cities, McKinley and Glen Street, Mary. As a result, the majority of residential purchase focus within the McKinley city's limits. The site stands out. Only info opportunities are proximity to three public schools, public infrastructure. Nearby is Century, Combs, and other ones. Jacksonville is only 30 minutes east. The site is presumed RS1, which permits 10,000. However, in order to achieve the more viable lot size, the proposed path is to rezone via a plan development recommended path, pre-application, submitted PD application with this and narrative, public hearing, finalized conceptual subdivision plat. The PD structure allows flexibility, setbacks, lot coverage, integration of open space, lot yield. Estimated yield, 174 lots. Now, I don't think that the average density doesn't look right. And when I said the two cities, I meant in Baker. But I do like your analysis. Maybe just talk about the concentration and county seat and proximity to Jacksonville. But the average density isn't right on the table. It has to be the blended density. I think you meant 6.3 maybe and 5.7. Okay, that's good. Zoning PDs 174. Is that density correct? I was just guessing. Okay, that's pretty good. So it was right. It's an acceptable range. Builder positioning, detached, public streets, fast permitting, one of the strongest in Baker County, inside city limits, secure option contract pending this feasibility review. Okay. Now this will be in our options. So next actions should be related to actual steps, not option agreement. Commission, submit, initiate builder outreach, track city commission, coordinate utilities. Okay. So this is our feasibility write-up. And we've been putting these in um so we have the write-up like that. This is going to be Exhibit A. And gosh, that's such a low basis. It's crazy. Righty. Bacon, Stephen K. Can you bring in all the listing agent info and verify across all of the internet for email and phone accuracy and total brokerage info, including listing number, parcel, etc. This is to prepare for the option to purchase. These are generating a lot of conversations because it is not easy to get these sites under option. People want you to come in and buy them or do a purchase contract. Um, my grandfather sold land like this to developers. And sometimes people, they're doing things to your land that you were just existing and they come up and try to talk to you and figure it out. So, with some of these tabs, maybe. These are massive lots. You see how much land is wasted? Crazy. It's a very dry area, amazing place to develop. I don't think we'll have any floodplains to worry about. Also, can you verify floodplain? This looks very dry and no floodplain. We don't need to do wetlands, etc. Wow, that is just crazy. We'll put that in the write-up. I would say this is the easiest site we found so far. And it's funny because each day we had sellers arguing with us. Okay. So we're gonna offer. Okay, we're gonna bring in our option contract from yesterday. Okay, here we go. Now, can you match this option contract? I don't think we need the other exhibits. This is a very cut and dry site. It could be a stormwater set aside that they did. Okay, and we saw, where did we see something? We saw like an overlay. Let's see what this matches. Let's look. I think we got it right here. That's what I don't get. Doesn't seem to match up. This marks it as 29 acres, yet total I measure is much larger. Are there two on the same street? Is it two land tracks? What is the parcel number? I'll look. Check this and see if there is another listing in same area for similar land tract size. It does not help that the auditor site does not work. That is crazy. That's Oregon. So do the deed. They have a massive amount of. Oh, I see what they did. It looks like it's 60, but they took 30. And I found the info. Let me paste it in photos, and you can add a description of what's going on. I need 2 batches of 6 to 8. So this is screenshots to transcribe to from the last sale. I think what happened is they did a corrective action and the 29 acres is all developable and the rest is this. It shows kind of an example plat, but we would replat through a PD. Okay, let's start with these. Here is the first batch, then I'll send the second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It looks like what happened was the county replatted it, took some of the creek water, showed how it would be done, and we could just replat it. It's an example. I don't think it was actually ever platted. I think it's just an example layout. Put the summary here of what happened. So we have a better idea. The original area encompassed more, but there was some kind of correction. And this was also a combination into one parcel, right? Summarize this into a paragraph showing the review of the most recent deed creation and new parcel. And can you talk about the larger area? It looks like this was a tax sale and it was listed before and probably had to be clarified. And it was just most recently created. Talk about what the other land tract was. It looks like city or county driven, or this was annexed in and cleaned up. Either way, I think if you talk about the whole process, it would help. And how many were referenced from before and where access is. Okay, so I think we finally got it. Merged 5 distinct subparcels, platted with that to a unified and insurable 29.06 acre. The correction suggests coordination between Baker County and local agencies to clean up a broader creekwood layout as seen, includes additional lands that appear to remain under public or county control, likely retained as drainage right of way or non-taxable holdings via Sixth Street, whatever. Prince and I for PD to re-entitlement to replanting benefiting from adjacency to existing infrastructure and the elementary school corridor. I also think, given the recent net loss and combination, the city and county will be eager to see this developed. Can you add that commentary? Especially its adjacency to the schools. I don't think we will need a huge stormwater. Okay, there we go. So this will go in our write-up. Environmental, we could say okay, so now we download this feasibility and let's say here, our yield is everything in our yield table still accurate? Read my updated feasibility. Let's see if it's still accurate. Your yield table is well supported. Okay, so what we're looking at here is that's such a low land basis. Okay, we would like to okay, we're in pretty good shape. Okay, Pretty good right here. Okay, so we do a title search. We've passed that. Is the deed. Here is all the info for this site and the owner of record. And please write the option of all for this site. Don't truncate same sections and wording. Okay. Let's see what it comes up here. So basically, we've looked at everything. We've got a great price. We understand the deed history. We understand how long it's been on the market. We have a great chance at getting this site. And it's one of the best. There's way less competition out here, way lower land basis, 8,000 an acre is insane. Um, keep having the capitalization and proof of funds seems to keep being an issue with our options contracts. There you go, much better. Is this identical to the other? Please add that seller can give us two title companies and we will pick one, but we prefer national title companies. It also request any due diligence seller has to be provided during the initial 90 days as we do our own. We're looking at the amounts that we wrote. The offer price should be list price and the amounts should be 1,500 per quarter. At listing price and bring in all broker info and listing and days on market. Leave open for 7 days. Okay. We're updating. You got to read all your work. Okay, so we have the listing broker to be formed. It shows the option fees, 6,000. Purchase price. Purchase price has to match the wire amount. You have 420K. It's the list price we are offering. Okay, so we're reading through this. We're making sure that all this is correct. Baycom, Steve Colano is the listing broker 100% correct and cross verified and only email you can find. We want to make sure this gets delivered. Sometimes we get delivery issues. So while it looks for that, we're going to keep looking here. This talks about option and consideration. I don't know how it freezes up so much. Buyer may exercise at title, 2 Florida licensed title companies. Representation has full authority. Property is not subject to other purchase contracts. Buyers acting solely as principal. Any buyer's side co-broker trigger shall be reassigned as a development fee. Assignment, Baker, electronic signatures, exhibits, offers open for that nature of agreement, capitalization, and signatures. Perfect. That's everything. So we take this. Let's see if we're missing anything. We always double check if there's anything missing. We've double checked everything. We have the deeds. This is as, I don't think so. These are insane. Entitlement flexibility. We've looked through everything. Proof of funds, minor cleanups. It's fine. Yes, clean it up and add that. I do like to add the days on market because I think it gives context for buyers and buying entities. We're not really pushing people on their prices. Under section 2, days on market, 432. Okay, we got it. So what we're gonna do with this is add it in here. We're gonna download this. Download this. As you guys can see, less than 2 hours, I think we've got another site. We're gonna try to find this listing. Definitely doesn't matter. There we go. Okay, we're not a member of Real MLS, so. All right, so what we put in here is we have these two documents we just downloaded. The title or the transfer of the most recent deed. And we also have our 2-pager. And which is our fund. Okay, option to purchase, deed goes last. Okay, so we will submit all of this, and that's how we do it, guys. So we got a new one. I did not expect to find something that cheap. We kind of looked at Jacksonville a little bit. Uh, we get to know it a little bit. We're looking at where things are, but this is definitely a good corridor. It's not the number one, but this is the kind of community that you're going to do very well in. Thanks for watching.